Welcome, everyone, to another LPL English unofficial interview here at MSI 2026. I am joined by none other than Big Dokes from LYON after their dominant series versus the Secret Whales. My man, top four at MSI, the first time for the LCS since 2022 EG. I know the job's not done, but what does this mean to you?
Well, it doesn't necessarily feel like a top four finish since we didn't necessarily beat either China or Korea, but we'll take it. Given we just play who we can in front of us, and the next series is going to be really important. If we win that, then that's top three, and we're in contention for potentially playing in the finals at that point. So next series is really important.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll get to that here in a little bit as well. But I want to talk about this series a bit more because it seemed like you guys had a pretty clear cut focus coming into TSW. What did y'all lock down? How did y'all lock down the 3-0? And what was the preparation coming into a team like them after they had just taken down top esports?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of learned a lot from how they draft in that top esports series. Pun likes to play volley bear, play like these funny champs. So I do too. So we kind of knew what was going to happen in terms of drafting, so we were pretty prepared in that front. And I think fundamentally we were the better team today. So it was pretty easy once we got a lead to kind of close it out. And game one was for sure a bit iffy for sure. That one I didn't necessarily play that well, but we were able to get a miraculous parent steal somehow. I'm not sure, and able to close it out. But yeah, game one could have been really dicey there.
So talking about the volley bear and things that you like to play as well, what are you feeling about the top lane meta? How do you feel like you get to express yourself in the meta right now? And what's the duality of I need to play for the team or I need to play for myself?
I think it's very open, but you have to play like the OP champs, like Jace for sure. You need to play or have an answer to, and then after that it's like Rumble Renekton. But everything is up in there, and you can pick a lot of creative counter picks, as shown from Pun in the series against Top Esports. So I like the meta because it just there's a lot of variety. Even though there are the standard picks, you can still experiment and play your own style.
Yeah, has there been something that you've been really liking about the meta in lane specifically in terms of like 1v1s and looking at those individual matchups?
Honestly, it's more about the grub timer nowadays,
Okay.
not necessarily the 1v1. It's if you can get a good swap timer off around like 6 to 8 minutes, that's kind of the main importance of top lane right now is to keep your condition good and get a swap timer on that. So
Hmm.
that's pretty much top lane. If you can find a solo kill somewhere in there after, then that's great. But that's kind of the main focus for most of the teams right now.
Okay. Well, I want to ask you a little bit more introspectively towards your thoughts, because how is top laning with LYON? I mean, you have Inspired at jungle. How is it different from other top lane experiences that you've had in the LCS and beyond?
It's a lot of pressure to be on this team since, we have really good players and our expectations are really high. So there's more pressure on this team than other teams I've been on. But at the same time, it's a great opportunity for us to, you know, do well in these formats, and that's exactly what I want. So, it's just up to me just to, fit in my role, just do my job, and then I trust my team to do theirs as well. So, and whatever happens, happens. But just play well, and then the rest will take care of itself.
Just quick shout out personally, which version of top lane do you like more? Do you like current style or do you like old style?
Uh, I like current style. It's very you can kind of play almost everything you want right
Mm-hmm.
now. So I really enjoy this
Okay,
right now.
sick. Well, a little bit more serious question. You're going to be facing off against the winner of T1G2. First of all, what are your thoughts on that series and who do you think is going to win? And then also your thoughts and feelings about those matchups that you could be going into and which top laner maybe you feel more excited to face off again.
Well, I think T1 is going to win. I don't.
Okay.
I predicted 3-1, 3-0 on the broadcast, so I'll just stick to that.
Okay.
And in terms of facing either of the opponents, I mean, I would prefer facing T1 because it's a great opportunity to try to beat them. And you don't get to face T1 internationally very often, so I really like every time that I get the chance to try to beat them because they're the pinnacle of our sport. So you just want to beat the best.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of just matchups, I'm confident going into whoever I play, and I think drafting will be a big thing in these matchups for sure. So need to prepare my picks and be ready to play everything.
Yeah, okay, I like it. Well, I know it's been a while since we talked, but I've been a big fan and been watching you since you earned that MVP prospect so
Oh
long
yeah,
ago.
yeah, I
It
came a long
feels
way
like
from
now.
that.
What has been your mantra through all this, man? You've had a crazy career, and it's still going, right? There's still so many ceilings you can break through, but to this point, man, you made it back from a point that it felt like maybe there wasn't a return, and now you're here, potentially, going even further into MSI 2026.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a wild journey. I was in tier 3 at one point, and
Yeah.
now I'm here, top 4. So, I mean, just keep going. I mean, I would say most of it's just straight delusion that I just kept playing, even though the opportunities looked extremely slim. And even this last year, I wasn't even supposed to be on this team. So, just very grateful that I have these chances because it could have easily been just me not being here. So, I'm just grateful that I can just get to be a pro and yeah, just do this for a living.
I appreciate that drive more than you know, my friend. What has been your biggest learning moment here at MSI so far? Is there something in lane, something in scrims that you're like, okay, I need to do that a little bit better, or I learned how to do this thing?
I think not sure. I mean, laning for sure. There's always stuff to learn from lane, but outside of that, it just really focus on the team game. Really
Hmm.
focus on tempo. I feel like those are kind of like buzzwords, but it does ring true because that's ultimately how you win a team game is just trying to coordinate with your team. So just less about individually, which I definitely go too far on sometimes, and try to reel that back and play more for the team and tempo for the team essentially.
What do you feel like has been the thing that you've improved on the most as a top laner? Is it that communication with the team and playing outside of that lane, or is it something else?
I think most recently it's definitely been the communication. Our coaches definitely suggested to me like I should try to impose what I want more strongly into the comms and really give a direction to how I want to play my lane out because top lane is very important right now given the roaming supports and carry tops in the meta. So
Hmm.
communication for sure has been the biggest thing for this MSI.
Well, what are your personal goals and improvements going forward in this year? It's only halfway over. It feels like you still have a lot of MSI to play. You have next split to look forward to. Are there things that you're personally working on?
Yeah, just improve and try to keep my mental positive because after the BLG series it was pretty bad. So
Yeah.
just try to reset and keep improving and just try to do well at these tournaments because ultimately that's essentially what I play for because
Hmm.
this is just where the most fun is, honestly. So I just yeah, let's get back to this point and for Worlds and let's do better at Worlds. That's essentially my mindset now.
I
Yeah.
love it. All right. Shout out to anything you want to say to any international fans or fans at home.
Thank you guys for supporting. We're gonna play a tough team in the next round, and hopefully we will do good in that series, just like we did in this series, and make it far in the MSI. So thank you guys for the support, and yeah, see you then.
Thank you. Top 4. Let's go.